How's it going, true believers? It is I, Shane, and I'm here with another What If episode review. Today's episode is episode 2. What if Peter Quill threatened Earth's mightiest heroes? Before I go any further, please hit that like button, the subscribe button as well, and hit the notification bell so you can be notified of more videos like this. And if you feel it within you that you want to support me, well, you can support me monetarily if you like to. The Patreon is right there in the description. So we are here with episode 2. Thank you for being so patient. Earth's Mightiest Heroes, right? So the premise of this is 1988. Year I was born. Peter Quill is rocketed down into Earth, being controlled by, I almost said Vigo. I got Ghostbusters 2 on my mind. Being controlled by Ego, played by Kurt Russell once again, to go ahead and do his expansion plan, where he turns everybody into him. That plan still seems so weird, right? I guess you can't understand the thought process of a being that is essentially a god. He is a celestial, isn't he? Isn't that weird when you think about celestials? Like, remember the Eternals with the celestials, where they're giant, Asanim the judge and Rafiki the other one. And if Ego is one of those things, right? Peter Quill was able to beat that because he had the power of one. So why is it that Ego, being a celestial, how come he didn't explode out of it? You see where the different types of celestials are? There like planetary ones? Are there giant men things that are kind of like standing in space, all Galactus like? I don't know, but that's just something I thought of. Essentially, Yondu does give Peter Quill up to his father Ego so he can start the expansion plan. We see very quickly that Ego is an asshole because he took that Walkman of Peter's mom, condensed it, got rid of it, because Ego's an ass. What can I say? Peggy Carter, since in the 80s Peggy was old, so she got that white hair. Howard Stark is still old, been old. They're gonna go ahead and get together a team, which I think the most unrealistic thing in this episode was the kid crash landing in New York, where the Battle of New York took place in the Avengers. Crash landing there, and the cops don't open fire on him because they see he's a kid. That's the most unrealistic thing in this episode. So we got to get a team together. It's the 80s, so who do they call? Well, call Hank Pym, also played by Michael Douglas. You got a young Hank, a young Hope is here. This is probably around the time when Janet just passed away. It's very interesting that Hank hangs up on Howard, and Howard calls back and he said, "I thought if you're a genius, you would, catch the drift." He's like, "Yeah, turn on the TV." Hope already has the TV on. He sees the destruction. We have Bill Foster, also known as Goliath. Well, technically he's known as Black Goliath, but Hank calls him Giant Man in here, which makes sense. He doesn't do the shrinking. He does the growing. Ha! Phrasing. Wendy Lawson, a.k.a. Mar-Vell, shows up in here. Now, the one thing that seems a bit inconsistent, and maybe I'm not trying to be insensitive here, but the actress who played Mar-Vell in Captain Marvel was older. She was older. She looked older. Wendy Lawson in 1988 looks young, right? Like though she couldn't be no old. If you put an age on her, she's either in her 30s or 40s. At least that's what she looks like, right? And we know she's a Kree. She's even wearing her Kree outfit. So sometime in here, and what's missing here, the only assumption I can place on this, because I think this episode is 36 minutes too. She's still making that ship that has the Tesseract, the cube in it. Remember, Mar-Vell wasn't evil. Mar-Vell was trying to find a way to get renewable energy so they can stop the whole Kree Skrull war thing going on. She obviously came forward once this intergalactic threat came to Earth, came forward to Peggy Carter of Pegasus, not S.H.I.E.L.D., it is Pegasus. I really want to know what that acronym stands for. And she's part of this team, wearing that green outfit and everything. Mar-Vell is a good choice for this. And I got two other people I didn't tell you about. We'll tell you about the Winter Soldier. Instantly, Peggy and Howard know it's Bucky. She's like, "Oh my God, it's Bucky! And like, that's not Bucky. That's I've heard tales of the Winter Soldier. By the by, it's the 80s. They're going through a Cold War, even though on MTV, yeah, reference, yay, the whole Kumbaya thing. There's still a Cold War going on, but hey, at least he's not killing Howard Stark or his wife. Eh, eh. And we get what old Avenger would probably be alive at this time? It's Thor. And Chris Hemsworth plays his character. As a matter of fact, everyone comes back for their voice roles except for, oh, I missed a person. I missed a very important person, T'Chaka, and I'm glad I accidentally put him last. T'Chaka is played by Atuan Khani. That is the voice. Atuan Khani apparently played young T'Challa too in the movie. I don't know. I'm trying to remember a time when we had a young T'Challa, and I can't remember that from the Black Panther movie, but he was in there, and uh, Atwa, Edwa. Hope I'm saying his name, Mr. Connie. He needs to be Black Panther. He needs to play live action Black Panther. Look him up. Please look him up. When you look at him, it's like, yeah, that's our T'Challa. But he does the voice of T'Chaka. So T'Chaka's original actor does not do his voice because, obviously he is older in the future. And Mar-Vell's actress, she is not in this as well. But great job by both of the young folks that are playing them. As a matter of fact, I'm just gonna Atandwa. There we go. Atandwa. He's only 4 years old. He's 39. That brother needs to be playing T'Challa. Son of actor John Connie. Man, if this is the guy who I think he is this the guy from what's that show, guys? Two Broke Girls. Is this Two Broke Girls guy? I don't think that's him. No, it doesn't. He looks like him, but this guy should play Black Panther. He needs to be T'Challa. I hope Kevin Feige's in talks with him for when we get this hard, soft reboot. But those are our adventures. T'Chaka the Black Panther, Bill Foster, Giant Man, Ant-Man, Thor, Mar-Vell, and Winter Soldier. That's our 6, which is interesting because Mar-Vell was an Avenger. So good job touching on that. I have so much like Easter. I have some cool Easter eggs to go over here. So one Easter egg here. Peter ends up being called Star-Lord. Apparently that's what his mom called him. Like when they they have to have Peter fight Ego because that's the only way you can beat him. Got to beat the Celestial with the Celestial. And he says, "What do you think? You're King of the Stars or something?" He's like, "Actually, Mom said I'm Star-Lord." And that's where he got the name from. That's why he cares about that name so much. We get the Walkman coming into play. Hope, who stole Hank's key card and shrinking disc. Why did she do it? I guess she's just an a-hole too as a kid. I don't know. But goes and talks to Peter. Peter just wants to go back home to Missouri. He said that's the only reason why he came back to Earth. And he's been ignoring Ego's calls in his mind. Like he's given given Jan's Walkman that Hope was using. She gives it to him. They're doing a good thing. And essentially we have it's such a juxtaposition to the first Avengers movie, to the Avengers, because they're having a council meeting. Peter has taken on all the armies of the 9 realms. Jotunheim was first, and Asgard fell. Midgard is left. Thor says we should kill the kid after they captured him, because Thor showed up and knocked his butt out. They threw him in a little containment unit, the same one that they held Hulk, that was supposed to hold Hulk, that they threw Loki in. He's for killing the kid. Obviously, so is the Winter Soldier when he speaks. And Hope says, I'll tell you where he's going, because she helped him escape. I'll tell you where he's going, but he's just a kid too. He just wants to go home, and we're supposed to do the right thing. And this episode is literally an Avengers movie. It's not in scale, but it has that feel of it. It's if you haven't caught on, this episode's really good, guys. Uh, we also get another funny callback when Mar-Vell gives Hope, because essentially Hank adopts Peter because Peter's mom is gone. That's all he had. And I don't think we really care about his grandfather, because remember, if you watch my Guardians of the Galaxy 3 review, Volume 3 review, Peter and his grandfather have a strained relationship because it seemed like he was blaming Peter for his mom passing. So it looks like Hank is going to adopt Peter, and Mar-Vell gives Peter and Hope the cat, and he's like, I'm more of a dog guy. Such a call. It's a callback to Cosmo. He steals a raccoon plushie from Coney Island. Call back to Rocket. So much cute callbacks in this one. Hank is called Krusty Guy by Mar-Vell when he's giving out coding. He's like, so we have Catman, Giant Man, Silent but Deadly. That's Winter Soldier. That's actually pretty funny. Space Broad, and then she goes, and Krusty, because you're the Krusty Guy. Because Hank even admits to Peter, who he's trying to convince to join them when he's at his mom's grave. It's like, look, I lost, Hope's mom not too long ago. It feels like I've lost everything. I'm a bit worse for wear, admitting that losing her has turned him, I don't want to say into a worse person, but into a worse person, which is very much true. And I'm still trying to understand why he hates Howard Stark. It's funny because it takes adult Hope to go. Mom would have gone on that mission regardless. You're mad at yourself, but you hate Tony Stark, or should I say Howard Stark? The only person who should hate Howard Stark is actually Tony. As we get a joke, and I wrote down jokes here actually about absentee father, regards to ego to Peter, and Howard's like, I get enough of that from Tony. Well, haha, you are an absentee dad. We know what you're doing. You should prioritize your family on top of doing your high, profile saving the world and U.S. gig. I'm just saying. You're supposed to be a genius. You should have been able to figure that out. What's another joke we got here? Another one from Howard. Cap saving my ass after 50 years. Because, of course, Bucky goes on his own. And Bucky has that scope on Peter's head. And he going to pull that trigger. But Howard's able to intercept the call that he has with his handler. And says, if you're the guy that Steve says you are, you're not going to pull the trigger. And he doesn't. Yay, Steve is saved us all. Saved us all. Other things that have changed in this universe as opposed to the main MCU line universe. Bill was never able to go above 21 feet. He maxed out. He got taller because he did alterations to the suit. What's another Easter egg here? He got taller. They fought. The Ego Clones fight was actually pretty cool because Thor recalling Mjolnir was enough to blow all these things back. So it looks like he doesn't just have power over his land. He has power over, I guess he has power over any land that his human form body touches. Because we are definitely reminded that he is just that's just a vessel form. There's still the big planet form that they go have to take care of later, which is, pardon me, at the end of this episode where Thor is like, well, I have to bid you all adieu. I need to go out and deal with the body. And Bill, played by Lawrence Fishburne, goes, hey, buddy, Thunder Boy, this is a group thing here. You're not going by yourself. And they're going to go into space and beat up Ego. I'm only on episode 2 and there's 9 of these. We've already been confirmed that there's a season 3. And my theory for the season 2, this is my theory. My theory for season 2, most of these episodes were already made. They just had to cut them up. Especially when we watched the Guardians of the Multiverse, the season finale, the last one episode for last season. When we saw Sakarian Iron Man, I call him Sakarian Iron Man because that's what we call him in HeroClix. Meta piece, by the way. Sakaar and Iron Man and the daughter of Thanos, Gamora, also comes from that episode, which is in this season. I think it is episode 4. Yeah, I think it's episode 4. So, if my memory serves me correctly, there's supposed to be about 12 episodes for season 1, and I think they cut 2 or 3, and they swap some things around. So, feels as if What If has mostly been made over time, and we just had to delve it out in pieces. And I like this because this episode here is kind of the feeling that the What If comics gave me when I used to read them. Although, a lot of them involved characters dying, much like, uh, the first episode of season 2, the zombie episode of last season, like all the Avengers being killed off by crazy Hank Pym, stuff like that, right? That does happen in a lot of What Ifs. But this is a nice What If where no one is dead, where everything is nice, and it just gives you that feeling of, wow, I want to see more of this universe. Just like we want to see more of Captain Carter, I want to see more of the Pegasus Avengers, right? Especially with the MCU having blossomed the way it is now in 2023. There's so much they can do with other characters. Like, let's say they move a little bit forward from 1988 to like 1992, right? Are we gonna see, like, well, we can't see Spider-Man because that's in the 2000s, but are we gonna get another armor type of gig going on, right? Are they gonna find Cap in the frozen ocean way sooner than when they did for the original Avengers in 2012? Yeah, they just might. They just might. Uh, I didn't mention all the jokes. One joke was when they're having a light beer. T'Chaka has asked, "What is this libation?" Light beer, and Thor says, "I like it." Another. That's a joke when he threw the mug from Thor 1. And then another callback is T'Chaka's father worked with them in World War II and gave them some vibranium to make Cap's shield, which has been lost because it's in the ocean. But it's interesting to note that in the MCU, Cap shield is just vibranium, where in the main comics universe, it's a vibranium adamantium alloy. So I wonder if that's ever gonna be uh retconned whenever we get the whole Secret Wars, Kang not Kang, whatever they choose to do because they have done a stupid thing and firing somebody. What if that is what's gonna happen? Just small things that I think about as I'm doing this. Gotta remember the cube is on that plane, so that's how they were able to go. Like when they got Peter, they rocketed fast back to the battlefield so fast. I almost forgot that was the whole semi back plot of the Captain Marvel movie, right? Is there anything else in here? Still think it's funny that, well, it's not funny, but it's interesting because we get Bill Foster being called Giant Man. They didn't call him Goliath, but didn't call him Black Goliath either. Kind of made no sense given that there was only like, he was the first Goliath. The second Goliath, I think, was it Hank or was it Hawkeye? Might have been Hawkeye. But yeah, this is the episode. This episode is good. I like these 30-minute, I don't call them bites, but I like these 30-minute episodes, right? Able to get in, enjoy it. If you've seen enough of the MCU and you remember a lot of these things, they can change some stuff. And another thing that reminds me of like What If, the comic series, didn't do much with Mar-Vell in the MCU. So we're going to yank her here, and she's a big part of this team. And at the same time, you can't have Avengers without Thor. Well, look, Thor has something to do with this. I really hope in season 3 we get Earth's Mightiest Heroes fighting Ego. Especially since Peter still has Ego's abilities because he took the seed and did the little shrinky orby thing and put it inside of him. So he said, "Yeah, Dad, I'll have a piece of you with me always," and did a Kamehameha wave to destroy the Rocky one. So in that last scene where they're all walking, what was the name of that space movie they had to destroy the asteroid? It's that Armageddon, when they're all walking off Armageddon style. Still wonder, why is Hope there? I get that, Hank doesn't have a babysitter, but why is Hope there? I guess she's safer with the Flirk and the boy with the super cosmic powers. So who knows? That needs to be a part two. This episode from me, I didn't even think about it. I kind of don't want to rate it because I had such a good time. Like, what if, putting my bias out there, what if I enjoyed it in the first season? These first two episodes are 5 out of 5s from me. This is some good storytelling. There's no drop off anywhere. I can't see any reason to give it anything lower. It's really, it's a great thing that they've done where you're able to take things that we already know. We know about T'Chaka and all these other characters. All right, you don't have to spend time on backstories. They all come together for a common purpose, and it's done really well in 30 minutes. 5 out of 5 for me. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below, please. Do not forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you can be notified of more of my what if reviews. I'm going to have some more videos that you might be interested in watching in a little cube right here towards the last 10 seconds of this video. But please, be good, be blessed. Happy New Year to you. All right. Be safe out there. Drink responsibly. And if you do some other things, do that responsibly as well. Okay. Stay safe. Be good, be blessed. Be good to yourselves, be good to others. Either way it goes, please don't be a jerk. All right. Remember, there are people out there that care about you, so make sure that you reach out to someone, right? This says backwards, be kind to your mind. So be kind to yourself. There are people that rather talk to you today than to miss you and mourn you tomorrow, all right? And if you want to support me, my Patreon is in the description below. Follow my social media accounts as well. Send me a message. I'll talk right back to you. Just don't be a jerk and we'll be good. All right? All right. Until next time, true believers, Excelsior.